In this video, we're going to cover some results with some recent email testing that we've run. We ran two separate tests. In the first test, it was subject lines and link placement based on video, image, and text links in that email. We only mailed one subject line at a time. We didn't split test them real time. And we remailed unopened emails with changes in that subject line over about a 96-hour period. The second test was based off of subject lines and link placement. It was a one-time test, a real-time test, where we mailed two different subject lines. We'll tell you those here in a minute. We did a 50-50 split, and then instead of image up top, we did a text link up top and an image link below, and we'll be able to show you that email. In the first test, I actually can't show you the subject lines or the dates because this offer is still running and there are still emails going out for it. But just know that the main subject line was based around traffic and content in the subject line. So they already knew that there was going to be an offer and as well as some bonus content. Kind of a little bit of a spoiler here, but overall this email had the best results out of all of them because it was an offer email. We had about a 7% open rate. As you can see, about 34% of the people that actually opened the email clicked a link on inside of the email. Now, what did they click on? If you look, link 1 and 2 were links to the offer. Link 1 was a video image link, and link 2 is a text link that was slightly lower down in the copy so they could see the image of what they were going to get. They can read a little bit of copy with some bullet points and they can click through. And then link 3 was at the bottom of the email, and it was link direct to content, and it was in the PS note. I've got a little gray hour here because I want you to take note of the number of contacts that actually click link 1 to link 2 as we go through this process for the next two emails. Email 2 went out 26 hours after the first one. It asked them if they needed some help in that subject matter and that they had the answer in this email. And then this email was the exact same offer and content swipe copy, just messing around, seeing what we can change. 3.3% opened, and you can see 1% click. So about I think this one had about 33 or 34% click-through rate if you do the math. And then the interesting part is this middle email is like the middle child. It really it kind of got washed out by both of them in there because, as you can see, it did okay. Got a decent amount of clicks to link 1 and link 2 to the offer, but if you notice, we've gone to about 50%. Is the difference. It's almost half of what it is from the first link to the second link being clicked. And then the content one drops. So as we go from top to bottom on the email, link 1, link 2, link 3, we're in that order. You'll see that the clicks consistently go down, but it's going down significantly here as we remail this offer. On the third one, email 3, I went way outside of my comfort zone and way outside of my normal setup, and we mailed a I call a super hypey subject line. I mean, essentially it was promising the world on a silver platter, and there was zero content offered in the subject line or within the email. We actually stripped that out of the email. You can see that we had about the same open rate as the second email, and the interesting part though is that we had our highest click-through rate by about 8% or 7% above the other two emails with the super hypey subject line. Now, if you look here, you can see that link 1 was right up the top where that video image was, and then the link to the offer. So people weren't even reading it; they were just clicking through to see what this magical pill really was. So the swipe copy in this really wasn't even needed. Taking those three emails, here's a couple results that we found. First of all, email 1 drove the most sales and clicks. It had the best response rate, the number of sales made. Now, that being said, we did not have the highest click-through rate. It was only like 34% or so, which I'll cover here in a minute. But the highest click-through rate email, which was that super hypey email, did not drive the highest EPC. Actually, it was lower than all of them. So looking at that and looking at the number of clicks that we showed you up top, the top of the email, the bottom, it's really just getting people to pique their interest and go through, but it's not actually delivering results. So hype may get the initial numbers, but it doesn't necessarily always lead to sales. And then what's interesting is as we went further down in the email copy, so link to, so people that clicked on that second text link, they read and were a little bit more pre-qualified. That actually, those links, people that clicked on that link, not the image, but the link number 2 on all of these offers where that gray arrow was, they actually were better qualified, and the link that they went through actually made the highest EPC for overall sales. All right, so open rate results. We have traffic and content here. The first email had a 7% open rate with a 35% click-through rate. Then we remailed 26 hours later, something about needing help in that subject matter, about a 3% open rate and 34. So, obviously, if they didn't open it the first time, they're less likely to potentially open it the second time. So we got about 4,000 people off that list, maybe about 5,000. But then we went to the super hype up, and we basically swept everybody. We got the highest click-through rates, but this one was the lowest and the worst performing email. So if I was looking at just my overall rates and I wasn't really testing this specific offer, which we knew the offer was in the same control mode, there was no change for that. You'd think that you'd do better, but the hype doesn't necessarily live up to it when it comes to overall email rates. And if I went back, I bet you we'd have the most complaints and unsubscribes from there. All right, link placement results. In link 1 was the video image. That was the one up top that had the most clicks. Obviously, it's the first link. But the interesting part was link number 2, the text link that had a little bit of copy, a paragraph, and some bullets, had the highest EPC and conversion numbers, although the clicks did drastically decrease as we increased the hype throughout that email series. And then link 3 was only a content text link. It basically sent them to a free PDF or some sort of content, but that had the lowest amount of clicks, and it kind of went from top to bottom, although the most qualified link was the one right there in the dead middle of the email. They knew what they were going to watch, and they knew what they were getting, so they were ready. All right, that moves us on to test number 2. If you're watching this video, you likely were actually part of test number 2. This is one where we tested subject lines and link placement. It was a real-time split test. I mailed 2 different subject lines to the list with a 50-50 split. And I did it right before I left last week for San Diego, and I'm just getting back now today. So we had an image link below the text link. So what does that mean is that there was text up top and an image, and it was a short and sweet email. And I'm actually going to share the email with you in a little bit, so you've probably already seen it. All right, so here's some of last week's results. You can see that the subject line, I'm giving you the subject line on this one because it was a one-time deal. It says $1 million logos with a new post, and I only put new post up there because I want people to know it was a blog post. So I put some hype in the subject line, and you can see we had an 8.1% open rate and about a 4% click-through rate, and just about 40 something percent is going to be the mathematics there. The interesting part here is this is the super hypey email of the 2. If you look at the clicks, you had about 530 and 380, so almost 400 people click through. So just under 1,000 total clicks there. So not too bad. So they're clicking primarily on the top, where the text is, and then on the image down below, and I'm going to show you that here in a minute what it looks like. I put content headlines, so this one actually there's new specific content that you're going to get, a new PDF on designing your own logo. We had about a 7% increase in 0.7%, sorry, almost a 1% increase in open rates, and then you can see that we had about a 50% click-through rate. It's like 48, 47%, something like that for the actual click-through rates if you do the contact-to-contact change. Also, if you notice, we had almost 1,100, actually over 1,100 people click through on this email because it was content versus a slightly more hyped logo. And if you look at the two side by side comparison, the top one being the content emails, 1,220 clicks. Total, and then 1,004 clicks. And if you notice, I got the little gray arrows down there so you can see the difference. If you do the math, you'll see that there's a 10% increase in the drop off. So, you know, it's kind of a mathematical, I should have put it something differently here, but basically there's a larger drop off on the hype email from people that actually paid more attention and clicked through. So what email did they click on? This may look familiar to you. I'm a big fan of putting a headline that's close to what the subject headline is and what the blog post headline is going to be. Designed it so that everything pointed down into the answer is right here where this big blue clickable link is. You can see we got 1,220 clicks through here. I think it was like 1,224. And then the image down below, and we still had a solid 1,000 clicks here on the image because it was pretty much front and center. And you knew you can go safely download a free PDF as we set up this one. So that's about 2,200 clicks just on this one email because we only said it once, and then I actually hit the road from there. We tried getting eye contact to show real-time results. For some reason, it wasn't reporting them real-time. So for me, it was pretty cool to have in the WebWeaver Elite Link Tracker plugin that we've got built for our sites. You see that I basically put the text and the PDF as my little permalink extensions, and then you can see we had 1,232 total clicks, and the 8-click differential here is going to be because I actually tested the email a couple times and adjusted a couple things to make sure that this was working and a couple other things were working. But you can see that if you're running offers or you're running certain things, you might be interested in something like this to be able to back up and double check your numbers in case eye contact goes down or your tracking service goes down. It's already built into my blog. Plus, it's quick and easy. All right, so how did link placement results work for us? In link one, we had a text link with a call to action, and that one had the most clicks, and that's the one that we see right here. The answer is right here with 1,220 clicks. And then, link number two was a PDF image, and I was actually surprised that it was actually that close. I would expect it to be like, about half or so, but a lot of people clicked on that PDF image to go and download it, and it led right to the same page, but there was an image on the page that they clicked to. So I thought that was pretty interesting, and we're going to play some testing games here in the future, and we're going to put the download image potentially up top, just below the headline and above the text to see if I can get an even higher click-through rate right at the top of that email and see what happens. So big picture takeaways for me is don't buy into the hype. There's a lot of people that, as they get more desperate, the hype gets more and more dramatic, or they're trying to trick you into opening the email. It's not working because as you can see from these two tests, the hyper we went, the actual worse our results were. So that tells me quality input equals quality output. If I put quality time and input into making my content and sending my emails and making it right, I'm going to have quality response from my list. And that, blind offers are diminishing that trust between, you and your list if you're mailing them. And no matter what, you still need to have a relationship with your list, somebody that they're talking to, somebody they're getting content from, and that way they have something to anchor where these messages are coming to. And it's always interesting to try new things. We played around with emails. It took me all of about 5 minutes to think about what I wanted to do, come up with a plan, run it with some brainstorming, and then we just implemented. I mean, the biggest failure is not doing anything. So we tried it, and now I know that I'm going to add in some more images. Not everybody gets an HTML email where they get to see these cool images, but guess what? The link is right here too, so they can go ahead and click that and be good to go. So try new things in your business. All right, so I'd appreciate it if you enjoyed this video. If you'd like to see more, share these results. So post and leave a comment, share the goodwill, let other people know. Click on the like button, sharing it via Twitter, or even mailing your list that this is cool stuff here on our site. It's kind of like putting a couple cents in the tip jar to let me know that actually you're appreciating it and it's coming in and it's well received, so that I'll spend a couple hours a week or every other week to give you real results of what we've got. So with that, I hope you enjoyed this test and these email marketing results, and I look forward to making more videos and even more money with you here in the future. Take care.